All right, let's dive in. This is going to be a bit different format of a video because I'm going to freestyle off the cuff. There's no whiteboard, there's no presentation. Like man to man, heart to heart, I want to talk to each and every single one of you so that way you can attract the type of companion that you've always wanted and self improve to a level that you personally believe is adequate and fulfilling to you. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're the type who you can't sit and watch maybe a 15 to 20-minute video without clicking out because you need more stimulation, maybe you need to see animations on the screen, maybe you need to see, different people talking back and forth, this isn't for you, so you might as well click out. Who this video is actually for is this is for men who are ambitious. This is for men who truly understand that it is important to build a mission, men who want to find their purpose, and men who want every single insider, one percenter tactic and or cheat code to win in life. Okay, that's who this is for. If you desire that outcome, whether that be financially, with women, with building yourself, you need to stay with me until the very end. But this is going to require some focus. So tune in and let's dive in. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Casey Zander. I'm the founder of Headman, and I'm here to revitalize masculinity and help make men full stack. So let's dive in. I'm not trying to be the dude that's floating head behind the camera here, but I took some notes. There's some serious things that we have to talk about today because the biggest issue that I see why men can't attract women is they do not understand the fundamental importance of something I like to call masculine competence. So the big title of today's video is, what is the number one thing that all women desire? Or even if I go and I click on the screen right here real quick, let me see. What did I actually title it? I titled it Attract Women by Mastering This Hidden Masculine Trait, Her Deep Fantasy. So what is a woman's deep fantasy? Well, it is to be led by a strong, masculine, competent man. The issue is that most men don't even know what masculine competence means, but if you go deeper with this, they don't understand the roadmap or the path in order to become full stack and be a strong, well-rounded, competent, masculine man with true life success for himself. So let me tell you this first and foremost. The reason why I'm making this video today is that I firmly and fundamentally believe that there is massive character traits lacking with men. When I say the massive character traits that are lacking with men, what you will see today, and this is where I have fully tried to go against the grain, against what every other dude does. I try to do the exact opposite. The character traits that you are lacking, or majority of men lack, is things like grit, like the ability to not give up. Okay, another thing that majority of men are running into, a character trait that they're falling into, is sedation. Okay, they're seduced and sedated by their pleasures, meaning they don't have life success for themselves. They don't have life results for themselves. They're not able to communicate effectively. They're not able to be the type of man that they want to be. However, they are still partying Friday and Saturday nights. However, they are still smoking stuff they shouldn't be smoking, drinking stuff they shouldn't be drinking. Now, I'm going to explain to you this very, very deep. It is your job, absolutely and fundamentally, to solve your reproductive issue or your reproductive problem. Now, I learned and I discovered this at a very young age. Okay, when I was 18 and I realized, like, hey, my body is pretty frail, like I'm pretty skinny, right? I don't have a lot of life success for myself. I learned in a quick hurry that I was not one of the guys that would be having options unless I fixed some of these things. And I understood that this was getting harder and harder and harder, and there started to become more dudes like me who were trapped in their shell. They didn't have a lot of muscle mass, they didn't have a lot of maturity, they didn't have a lot of masculine congruence within themselves. They had no real life skills, so they didn't have any ability to make money. They had no ability to communicate effectively. They were too scared to flirt, too shy to flirt, scared to say the wrong thing. So I learned at a very young age, I was like, okay, if I don't solve this, this is not going to get any easier, because there is certain guys that women like and gravitate towards, and there are certain guys that women do not like and do not gravitate towards, and I 100% am in the category of not liking. So because of that, it's my duty to figure this out. See, most men claim that they want success, but most men don't do anything to get it. Now, I'm trying to motivate you here to get you to really understand just how important success is, because your genes will not carry on unless you solve these issues. Like, the human body wants two things. In fact, humans on all levels crave and desire two things. The first is survival. Okay, it's your job every day to survive. Like, you need water, you need food, you need shelter. But the second is reproduction. If you're not able to solve your reproductive problem and have your genes successfully carry on and your genes successfully replicate and duplicate, not only are you probably headed down the route of being low value, low status, but you have to understand that you are being weeded out of existence. You're ceasing to exist. Meaning, if you're watching endless YouTube videos playing Minecraft, like playing Xbox, you need to literally take that and you need to throw that in the trash can. You need to actually like sit down for a second and look at the character traits that are missing. So there's 5 specific character traits that I find missing in all modern men today. The first is they do not have any grit. The second is they don't have purpose. The third is they don't have ambition. The fourth is that they are sedated. And the fifth is that they give up far too easy. Okay. Now, there's going to be a lot of doom and gloom dudes who tell themselves it's just not possible. Like, nothing's possible to get out of your shell. So the very first piece that I need you to understand is that you can command the presence of an alpha male no matter how you look or no matter where you're starting from. If you take a look at my before picture and then you take a look at my after picture, did it take a couple years? Yes. Was I in the gym almost every single day? Yes. Did I track almost every single food that went into my mouth in a notebook? Yes. But what happened was the waist got narrow, the abs came in, I was strong, I was viable. Okay, do you think that when a dude goes from that to that and starts to look a different way, do you understand how that will shift your demeanor? Do you now see how that will actually radiate a different type of confidence? Do you see how you're actually going to carry yourself strong because you actually became strong? Like, there's no substitute for building the body. So when I put all of these character traits that were holding me back aside, like being sedated, playing video games, okay, just sitting there spinning my wheels, not doing anything, thinking that the game is rigged, when I stopped being a victim and when I actually took control and I took action, the new women that you meet in your life, they can't tell because they have no idea of your past. It's like a woman or anybody only knows what you put in front of them. Like, you could get blown out and rejected by 15 women, but if you hit that sweet spot in your game or that tone in your seduction and the next woman that you're in front of, you can speak fluidly and all of a sudden you can draw her in, she has no idea about your past failures or your past successes. Okay. So first off, what you have to do, not only do you have to understand, like, all men are competing in the S3 actual market, but you have to understand that the human body wants two things. The humans in general need two things. You need survival and you need reproduction. If you are not solving your reproductive problem, you're doing a disservice to yourself. You're doing a disservice to your family. You're doing a disservice to everybody who came before you that actually solved their reproductive problem, because men are built and men are made. So the very first spot is you need to actually understand and master the character traits that it comes to building a solid dude, okay? That's first and foremost. There is no excuses. Any man can do it. I am living proof any guy can do it. And you can be the biggest, nerdiest dork like I was, and you can get yoked and jacked and look pretty good and be strong and be confident and actually develop into who you want to be. So that's number one. Figure out the character traits that are lacking, because you must agree and tell yourself that you have a service to yourself, you have a duty to yourself to solve your reproductive problem. That's number one. What is number two? Well, number two, every single man out there has to look at where their time is going. Okay, this one I'm gonna go even deep with, and I'm telling you this because, like, okay. From ages 22 and a half to 25, I built a multiple $1,000,000 per year business. Okay, within like 18 months, my entire life changed, and I did multiple millions of dollars in sales. I run a fairly decent sized team, to have a life of abundance, a social life of abundance. There's things that I did because I put in the work. So what you have to do is you have to look at where you are putting your time. Now, the reason why I preface this with the financial aspect in the beginning, and just like the awards that you see up on the board, I'm telling you this so you don't just think I'm some Joe Blow on the internet. I'm telling you this so that way you actually understand, like, I've had real life success for myself. I know what it takes to actually build something. Here's what I can tell you. Where you put your time is so important. So I have friends, or I know people who know how to play a video game. I have absolutely no idea how to play a video game. Like, if you give me a controller, I'm sitting here looking at it and I go, this is really, really hard. Like, for me, it's far easier to set up, a website or create a script for my team and actually build something of value. Like, the point I'm trying to hammer across right here and tell you is that you are learning something regardless. Okay? If you have to go take the $700 and buy the Xbox, if you gave me an Xbox or a PlayStation, I wouldn't even know what to do with it. I don't know where to hook in the cords. I don't know what live is. I don't know how to connect with the people that you shoot with online with the triggers. Like, I don't know how to do any of it. I would literally have to sit there for multiple weeks or multiple months and learn how to play the game. Here's my Xbox. I would have to learn how to play the stupid box. I would have to take hour for hour sweat equity to sit down and learn how to have to play the video game. Okay, you're learning something regardless. I don't know how to do that. If someone says, hey, go hook up your Apple TV and go plug in the TV and go get cable, like, dude, I don't know how to do any of it. I don't watch TV. I don't play Xbox. I don't have a PlayStation. I don't know how to do any of this stuff that people waste their time doing. Because if I wanted to, I would have to sit down and I would have to learn it. So where you put your time matters, okay? I will tell you this right now. It is just as hard to learn how to do something that's mindless as it is to learn how to do something that will pay you dividends for years and years and years to come. Okay? When I was learning how to build a physique in the gym, that was probably just as hard and just as time consuming as looking up the cheat codes that somebody has to do to play Grand Theft Auto on their video game. Like, you're learning something regardless. So I'm going to tell you this right now. If you don't have financial gain for yourself, if you don't have success for yourself, if you are learning how to do things on a day-to-day basis, whether it's change out the avatar that you're playing with on the computer screen or any of this BS you waste your time doing, like, you need to actually look at where you put your time. Because since you're learning something regardless, you may as well learn stuff that's going to actually level up your S3 actual market value. You have to understand just how easy this is. No other guy is willing to put in any work. When I look at all of the dudes who were studs, like in high school or even college, let's say, who are really like great with the women, like, not only did I far surpass them in 3 years, but I made gain and I made a true life gain that most people will never catch me to the point at where I'm at. They will never get to where I'm at because in just 3 to 4 short years of working my ass off, I was able to create legacy and lifestyle and character traits that most people will never have forever. Or even the type of mindset and money mindset and ability to create wealth and command different things in the marketplace because I just did it. So I'm here to tell you that you are learning no matter what. You may as well learn things that pay you. You may as well learn things that level up your skills. So why is this important? Because women want a man with masculine competence. If you're a man and you don't have masculine competence, you don't have resources, you don't have ability to command wealth, you don't know how to create wealth, you don't know how to create value in the marketplace, you are going to be eventually weeded out of existence. Because eventually she will find a baller who did all that stuff that I'm telling you to do. She will find a stud who put in the work. She'll find a dude who is willing to go to the lengths to sacrifice and crush it. And you know what? Even if he wasn't that natural born stud like it, she doesn't know and she doesn't care because all the chick will know is what you put in front of her. And if what you put in front of her now is a dude who is self-made, who has cash, who's developed his body, who's developed his speech, who understands his masculine frame, he is going to get the girl and you won't. So why do I still think it's so important to lead all of this with a dating focus is because every single thing a guy does on planet Earth is to level up his S3 actual market value. I don't think people understand truly just how important it is to get square on this. Like, you got to really look at yourself and you got to say, hey, if I don't have any dating options in my life, why am I unattractive? Because attraction is the fundamental root of if you are commanding value in this world or not. If people are attracted to you, that is a sign of a positive life. If people are not attracted to you, that is a sign of a negative life. So for those of you that are sad every day, or those of you who think you're depressed, what you have to really ask yourself is it that, or am I just low status? Am I sad, or have I just not done anything of value? So first off, let's recap. Let's stack these. Number one, look at the character traits that are lacking in your life. Step number two, look at where you put your time. Okay, if you're putting your time into things that don't give you a return, you have to understand an Xbox doesn't just cost you $700, because then you got to sit there and you got to plug it in, you got to learn how to use it, and you got to play the goddamn thing. And then every single day, you're now learning how to play something that's robbing you of your time, robbing you of your energy, robbing you of your charisma, and you're literally wasting your life doing these things, okay? So look at the character traits that are lacking. Look at where most men are putting their time. And then last is you have to tell yourself you are going to learn the things that will pay a reward. But here's what I can tell you. None of this matters. None of this will matter, and none of this will hit home unless you tell yourself, A, that it's important to solve your reproductive problem, and B, you're ready and willing to take your dating life seriously. Because if you're not doing that, you're short selling yourself when it comes to the two things that all humans desire: survival, day to day, you owe it to yourself to survive, and B, reproduction. If you are not successfully able to reproduce, what that is saying is that's saying, hey, I have attraction qualities that are of low value or of low status, and it is your duty to truly fix things. So this video was not only a tell-all, but it's an inside look at where my brain is at and how I think. Any amount of time being wasted, you have to understand that you are going to compete in the dating market no matter what. And when you do go and compete in the dating market, you're against guys like me. And I don't lose, and I don't like to lose. And when I do lose, I get pissed and then I go win. Like, you're just like me. You're just like any of the people that you look up to. The difference is that they actually did something about their life to go and make it. And the choice is up to you. Where you put your time and the character traits you choose to internalize will dictate your success forever.